Houstonian Katherine Center is the author behind several best-selling novels, including The Lost Husband, which became a Netflix movie. Happiness for Beginners will become another Netflix movie starring Ellie, Kemper. Katherine's latest book is sure to be a hit as well. She joins us with The Bodyguard, which just came out today, and it's right over my shoulder right there. We already had it because we got one of those advanced editions, so we feel very important, Katherine.
Yay! It's so exciting. It's Pub Day.
All right, we want to remind people that your uncle owned a bookstore in an old house off of Bissonnette. And so your career started very early. You wrote your first novel in 6th grade.
Yes. In 6th grade, I was very dorky and very awkward. And my two best friends and I got this idea that we should write novels about Duran Duran and that we should cast ourselves as the main characters in the novels. And so we did. We wrote love stories where all the members of Duran Duran fell madly in love with us.
Yeah, so I got to ask you the next question. What kept you going?
Kept me going over all the years.
Yeah, after that Duran Duran moment, and then you thought, okay, I'm going to still do this. I'm going to keep doing this.
You know, actually, it was a really long kind of slow burn journey because I decided I wanted to be a writer when I was 12, and I did not actually manage to publish anything until I was 32. So It's a really long wait.
Which is good because all that is building the resume, right? And so here we are at The Bodyguard, one of those books that was written during the pandemic. And what's so cool about your books is that whenever I read anything in it, every little detail, I always say, I wonder if this is a part of her real life. You do have sprinkled throughout your novels parts of your real life.
Yeah, you know, The Bodyguard is actually, it's a story about a woman bodyguard, which is not a part of my real life, who has to protect a famous actor. And that's also pretty high fantasy. But the story is set on a Texas ranch. And that is a part of my real life because my grandparents had a cattle ranch in Texas, like a working cattle ranch. And they've both passed away, but my mom still runs it. And so that's like a real thing. The setting of the story is very, very real. Yeah, those are our cows.
And those are your cows. Those are your cows. You know them by name. All right, and you also, I mean, obviously do your research as any good novelist would do. But for this instance, you know, you spoke with actresses to learn about their craft in the movie industry, but you also read firsthand accounts of executive protection agents.
I did. Yeah, it's a real job. And here's the thing, women are actually in demand in that job because they can kind of move around undetected. They don't look like bodyguards. People see them and just think they're the nanny or something. So it gives them this kind of cover where they can do their job without being noticed. Yeah, so they're pretty good.
Element of surprise there. Okay, you also have some cute romantic moments, which is always, you know, in a good novel, you got to have those romantic moments. But these particular romantic moments were kind of inspired by some K-dramas that you were watching during the pandemic.
Yes, I fell in love with Korean television during the pandemic. I started watching on Netflix, and it was the thing that kind of kept me afloat. Like they're such great shows, and they're so romantic, and they're just charming. I mean, and they're addictive. They'll keep you up all night long. I mean, the sun will be coming up and your husband will be like, I can't believe you're still watching that show.
Well, speaking of cute and addictive, Josh Duhamel, right? You met him on the set of The Lost Husband and you lost your ability to speak.
Yeah, he came over and he was so friendly and down to earth, you know, and he was like, hi, you wrote the book. It's so nice to meet you. And I just panicked, you know, I just lost all ability to talk. My words disappeared. I stood there. You know, he was so handsome and he was so tall, you know, and he was so movie starish. And I couldn't think of any words. And I felt like a rotisserie chicken at the grocery store. I was just like, my skin got all crackly and I was like spinning around like,
but a rotisserie chicken is delicious. Okay, so I am wondering, this book, The Bodyguard, so the main character has a stalker. I'm wondering if Josh has anything to worry about with you, Katherine. Is that where this is coming from?
Good.
Okay, that's not where this is coming from. All right. Okay, your latest Netflix movie, it's got to feel really good, not only to become a bestseller. I mean, first of all, I think for a lot of people to just write the end is a great accomplishment because you got it done, right? And then when someone says, we love it, bestseller, and then they say we want to make it into a movie, that's got to feel really good. Tell us about your latest Netflix movie.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, the Lost Husband movie, which was the first one, did so well on Netflix that the director, or the writer-director, who's from Houston, Vicky White, she came back to me and said, I'd love to work with you again. So she took another one of my books, Happiness for Beginners, and she is currently making it into a Netflix movie. It's going to star Ellie Kemper, Luke Grimes, who plays Kevin Costner's son on Yellowstone, Nico Santos, and it's got Blythe Danner in it, who's Gwyneth Paltrow's mom. And they actually let me go to the set to do a cameo in the movie, so I got to meet them all, and it was very dreamy.
And you were able to speak this time.